Hey everyone, today I will guide you through the analytics journey and I will use customer retention as the example that will guide you through this journey. But let me introduce myself. So I'm Igor Alcantara. I am Director of Data Science in Education at IPC Global, a proud Qlik partner. And talking about Qlik, I am also a Qlik Community MVP, Qlik Partner Ambassador, and a Qlik Meetup captain in multiple cities. There's a QR code to my LinkedIn in case you want to add me. And let me start by asking you a question. When was the last time you traveled to a new place? Let me tell a story about a friend of mine. So, a friend of mine went to London recently in a business trip, and she actually, this is her. I mean, not really, but it pretty much could be her, especially the height. But anyway, she went to London on a business trip, and she told me that she had some time to spare, and she went visiting some places. And then I asked her, "Oh, did you go to this place? You go to that place?" Because I've been to London before, and I really like the city. So I asked her a few questions, and then she told me, "You know what? No, I didn't do that or that." And then she, just like myself, she's a huge Beatles fan. And then I asked her, "Oh, but I'm sure you went to Abbey Road and you also went to the EMI former headquarters where the Beatles took the photo that became their first record cover." And she said, "Oh, yeah, the Please Please Me album? No, I didn't know that." So, long story short, she didn't plan it on purpose because she just wanted to be a little adventurous, spontaneous. She didn't plan for it, and she missed a lot, which is a shame because she has no idea if she'll ever get back to London, especially for free because this was a business trip. And a lot of time that happens in businesses when you do not know your customer, when you do not have the right information, or you have the data but you do not have the knowledge, and you miss a lot of opportunities and businesses. And that's why talking specifically about customer, knowing your customer is the real treasure. And today I will show you how a platform end to end like Qlik can help you to achieve that knowledge and find the treasure. So, this is our agenda for this adventure. So, I'll briefly explain about Qlik's platform. Then we go into the four stages of analytics, which is the actual real journey. And I'll ask you to do an exercise and identify in each stage your company is currently. And then, because we know seeing is believing, I'll do a quick demo and then we'll open the floor for some questions. So, let's start by talking about the real and only end-to-end data platform, which is Qlik. So other vendors, they say, yeah, we have everything, it's end-to-end. But when you drill down, in order to connect, let's say, the data integration piece with the analytics piece or DI or this, you need to purchase another product, or you need another vendor, or you need this. And at the end of the day, you actually miss the true value. Not Qlik. And I'll say it again, Qlik is the only end-to-end, real end-to-end platform for data. It goes all the way to get your data from the source, transform your data, input data quality, all the way to analytics, AI, to the most important, actionable outcomes. So from raw data to actionable outcomes, all in one platform, one vendor, one pricing structure, one partner to work with. It's much simpler, much easier, and faster to go to the outcomes that you desire. So, but it's a tool. What really matters is the value that it brings. So let me talk to you about the Fantastic Four, not these Fantastic Four, but the Fantastic Four in analytics. And it's a journey. You might not be at the end of the journey yet. And we always start with descriptive analytics. Then we go to predictive analytics, to diagnostic analytics, and then to prescriptive analytics. And I will explain each one of those. I'll pause a little bit at the end of each one of those, so in case you have questions before we move on to the next step in our journey. And again, I'll ask you to do an exercise and identify where your company is. So let's get started in this journey. And it always starts when a company has access to the data, which it seems like, okay, every company has. Well, actually, no. A lot of companies, they don't have access to the data, or all of the data at least. Some data are in someone's computer spreadsheet or in somebody's mind. So at some point, the company has ownership of the data. And the first thing they want to do is to show the data, describe the data. So there becomes like the dashboards, BI, reports, all of that. And it seems that you get a lot of value with that, which is actually true. You get it. You get the value of knowing your present and knowing your past as well, because you have historical data. It's beautiful. We love it. But that's only the first step in your 4 steps journey. Most of the companies, maybe you're surprised, maybe you're not, are in this stage yet. That's the descriptive analytics. I see the data and I describe the data. But that doesn't help if I wanted to understand what's going to happen next. Let's say, oh, I have a problem. The customers are churning. I want to understand which customer will churn. What can I do about it? So then we need to go to the next step, which is the predictive analytics. So predictive analytics help us to predict the future. So it's not magic. It's not DeLorean. Through statistical modeling, machine learning is another word for that. Then we can learn from what happened in the past, what's happening today, to predict what will likely happen in the future, which is amazing. Now I know which customers are more likely to churn, so I can give them a call, send them a promo or something. However, it's amazing. It's a second step. It's better than describing. Now I can predict the future. But predicting the future and only predicting the future, it's not only incomplete, but it can also be dangerous, because you might, turning the company to the wrong direction. And sometimes the blame starts and happening in all of that. It's like a doctor predicting a patient will die. And then a patient asks, okay, how am I going to die? When I'm going to die? How can I avoid that? And the doctor said, oh, I don't know. That's what the model says. It could be tomorrow. It could be in 100 years. So it doesn't help much, right? Then we need to go to the third step in our journey, which is the diagnostic analytics. It doesn't matter only to predict the future. I need also to understand the future. That's the benefit of diagnostic analytics. And we can do all of that in the Qlik platform. Is like not only having the prediction, but having the explanation why the prediction was like that. Why I'm predicting this particular customer to have a 75% chance of churning in the next semester. That's the beauty of diagnostic analytics. And then understanding the reasons. Oh, it's the price. So maybe we give them a discount or this or that. But then you might be wondering, all right, how much of discount? Because you don't want to give too much discount and leave money on the table, or too little and just losing money and the customer churning anyway. You need to be more precise. Then we go to the fourth stage in our analytics journey. The prescriptive analytics is where you can run simulations and you can understand exactly what you need to do to overcome a bad prediction or to confirm a good prediction. Learn for what's working to reapply to other areas and avoid what is not working. That's the beauty of prescriptive analytics. So if descriptive shows you the present and the past, predictive predicts the future, diagnostic understands the future, prescriptive allows you to change the future. And that's the real power. All right, this is all pretty simple, but I mean, it didn't convince me. I want to see it. Show me. Well, all right, let me show you. So this is the Qlik application that you will see in the screenshots, and I'll just guide you through those different stages. So first we start with descriptive. So I have this company. We have a certain number of customers, but however, if you look closely to the data, it tells me that 15% of my customers are churning. 15% of my customers are churning, which is a huge number. It's really bad. And then if I analyze in my different plans that I offer to my customer, Purple plan is the biggest one, but is also the one with the highest predictive loss of revenue. So you might think, yeah, it's the purple plan. Let's restructure. Let's do this. And I said, no, wait a second. If I only have descriptive analytics, those decisions, they're not data driven. They're human driven, which is not bad, but it might lead to bad decisions. So let me use data and let me now predict the future. Let's go to the second stage. Let's go to the predictive analytics. Now, for every single customer, we have a prediction. What is the chance of this customer not renewing their subscription? And then I have like highlighted with some pretty colors, what the customers are more likely to churn and the probability. And I can look, for example, Aaron churn is 75% chance of churning, which is pretty big. And I want to help Aaron. I will pick the phone and ask Aaron what's going on. Sometimes people tell me the truth. Sometimes they will not. Sometimes I can help them. Sometimes I cannot. So then it's only the predictive. Without the explanation, it doesn't help me much. I need to go to the third stage, which is the diagnostic analytics. In the diagnostic analytics, I can then understand not only the prediction, but the reasons behind the prediction. So through the Qlik platform, using a tool called Qlik Predict, I can have machine learning not only predicting the future, but explaining me the future. And that's what I have here. So overall, for the entire model, plan type is the number one reason people might be churning. The base fee is the second one. And number of penalties in the top three, which is kind of surprising when we look at it. And we never thought number of penalties were that important. But now we know. It's an insight we didn't have before. Now, if we look at plan type, we might think, yes, I knew it. It's that purple plan. We need to restructure that plan. It's a mess. Well, maybe you may be misguided just because it's the highest plan, not necessarily the problematic one. And when I look at here, it's the red plan, the bad one. Oh, I was about to make a huge business mistake. Not only that, and by the way, that's where most of our machine learning stuff, they give you an explanation for the entire model. But we know each person is different. Now, what Qlik Predict also gives you, it's that explanation row by row. In that case, customer by customer. And I can see each one of these dots is the importance, negative or positive, for that particular feature for one individual customer. You might think, all right, Igor, that's pretty, but you probably need to hire an army of data scientists, developers to do this. Actually, zero, because it's all through a no-code approach. So if I click here, that's my machine learning experiment. So I've done this without writing a single line of code. So Qlik did all of the pre-processing, training, selecting, module, everything automatically. Now, going back to our journey, I can also go to the next step by doing simulations using the Qlik Predict and Qlik Analytics tools. So in that case, I have selected one customer, Adrian Olson, that has a 95% chance of churning, which is pretty high, and I want to avoid that. And then I look at the customer and I see, whoa, the main reasons are the plan type and base fee for that particular customer. Well, let me play with the price, because if I look at here, the average price on that plan is $30, but that customer is paying $44. It's more than $10 more. So yeah, maybe let's give a discount, bring in close to 30, and then we'll see. Yeah, that helps. That helps a lot. Look at that. If we get down to 30, then it's 14% of churn. That's pretty good. And then finance calls me, you guys are killing me. You cannot do that. You're leaving too much money on the table. You cannot do that. So let's say, for example, then, yeah, we'll give a little discount just to bring it down under 40, maybe 38 something. Still pretty high. But then look at that. That customer's in the red plan. That's the problematic plan. Oh, well, let's switch it to the blue plan, which is similar price for higher benefits. Look at that. Now we're talking. Without changing the money much, we have a way better solution outcome. That's prescriptive analytics. And that's the beauty of the tool. And I'm only showing the tip of the iceberg on the tool, only part of it. And we already get a lot of benefit out of it. So now let's talk about the elephant in the room. And I'm not talking about this elephant. The elephant in the room in that case is, okay, what is the actual benefit of this? What is the actual end-to-end advantage? So the end-to-end advantage of the Qlik platform, it's like discovering a treasure hidden in your organization. It's not just about collecting data. It's not BI or pretty dashboards. It's about unlocking what truly matters. With Qlik, you can turn raw data into knowledge. And knowledge, when done right, it's more than numbers on a screen. Knowledge is what I call VIP. Why VIP? Well, knowledge is VIP because it's valuable. It tells us what truly drives the business. It's data driven decision making. Knowledge is VIP because it's insightful. It connects the dots. It reveals hidden meanings. It tells what is hidden within your data in plain sight. And knowledge is VIP because it's powerful. It transforms understanding into action. And that's a key word. And make no mistake, knowledge without action, it's a huge waste of potential. So let's go back to my friend. She did not have that. She did not want to have the same London experience again, and she planned a trip at the end of the year to Italy. But now she's doing differently because she understands that knowledge is important. Knowledge is VIP. She's doing her homework, researching what restaurants to avoid, where to go, learning about pickpocketing, all of that. And I'm sure that now she'll have a great time in Italy. So I want to make sure everybody gets out of this with the main message, which is knowledge without action is a waste of potential. Knowledge, data needs to drive to actionable insights. All right. So I'll open to Q&A. Again, QR code to add me to LinkedIn. And I'm happy to take your questions. And again, thank you for watching this presentation today.